Hi guys, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. My name is Artieka.
I'm Tommy.
And apparently something's funny.
Inside joke.
And today we are reviewing Ready to Love Season 4, Episode 7, and it is titled The Friend Zone. Before we get into this review, you guys, please take a minute to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, and share out this video. We know you're watching. Just share it to somebody. It's easy. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. You ready to get into this review?
Let's do it.
Okay, so starting at the ending. Do we talk about, because I can't remember now for some reason, do we talk about who the two were at the bottom were or just who got eliminated?
I think we talk about it. It just flows however the conversation goes.
Chrysanthemum went home.
Yep. Cat's out the bag now.
If you guys saw our live on Thursday, we were talking about like the eliminations and who we thought would be going next. And Chrysanthemum was the general consensus from our little group chat.
But I had been saying that since like last week at Chrysanthemum.
Since Stacey went home?
Yeah. Yeah.
So Frick and Frack are freaking and fracking at the house, apparently. Just a little bit about her going home situation. KG was the one that sent her home, which he was the person that I think also had the most awkward date with her.
Yeah.
On top of that, she knew she was getting sent home when she walked in there. She didn't even try to play the surprise game like everybody else did. Like,
right.
What am I doing here? She was like, she walked in. And I mean, granted, she said that she gives 2-word answers on dates. I mean, when she's like, she doesn't like to be interrogated and things. When she was on the group date with Ron's friends and Alexis.
Yeah.
But like, when she walked in, Chris was like, hey, how you doing? She was like, good. It's like, you smell good. I know.
I know.
What are you wearing? That smells amazing. A secret. It's like, girl, you're just not giving anything. Like, that's why you're going on.
Right.
And then also the thing about her not replying, she was like, if they're mad because I'm not replying to them, then that means that we shouldn't be together anyways. No, it takes communication.
She said, oops. I was like, oops.
Like, I think that further proves what a lot of people were saying in that chat was that Chrysanthemum didn't think she needed to do more than be a pretty face.
Right. And I feel like that's what has helped her get to this point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's one of the reasons why she's not in a relationship. One is because she says that she's not a relationship person. 2 is thinks that her pretty is what's going to carry her over the finish line. But what people fail to realize is your pretty fades.
I mean, even if your pretty doesn't fade, nobody wants to sit up and just stare at somebody that they can't have a conversation with. Like, that's not a relationship.
Right. That's just weird.
Like, you could be gorgeous from now until you die, but still, like,
we're just occupying space.
I have to have more than just she's pretty. She liked to drink champagne.
She said, oops.
So we'll start back at the beginning.
Let's start at the beginning.
We go back to the what do we call this? The Gentleman's Lounge is what it's called. And Tommy was like, hey, it's the Strong Six. I was like, that's what we call them? I guess next week they're going to be the Fab Five. Or not next week.
The week after.
In 2 weeks, they'll be the Fab Five. So they told them that they're going to basically get to know their friends, which this episode was all about meeting friends. So Joel had 3 of his friends, Shay, Precise, and Bongo. I was like, Bongo? He had his 3 friends come over and they had a crab boil. That's the smallest crab boil I've seen for that many people.
It probably was bigger. They
showed one single pot with a cluster of crab legs in it.
I don't know.
So Vernisha came over and she pretty much told the guys, or told his friends, that she was territorial over him. And I think it was Shay who said that she didn't like that Vernisha was territorial. And she also like verbalized that to Vernisha. She's like, you're in a essentially she was like, you're in a competition. You can't be territorial in a competition. And I'm like, I think we have flawed logic about the way that this is supposed to work, because I'm not supposed to care about anything that you do until you're with me, but you can care about what I do before you're with me, because it's just like, don't kiss nobody. I gotta reconsider this because he out here kissing people. It's just like, what do we want here? That's why all of y'all are still gonna be single at the end of this.
Yeah.
But essentially, they all ended everything. Or not they all ended everything, but she just told them that she likes to be focused on one guy, and then she excused herself and went home.
Yeah.
Do you have anything to say about that?
I mean, it was like that part. They was going back and forth with
you said
Chris
you
and
didn't
Amber,
like that.
and it was like, it wasn't hard for me to keep up with what was going on. It was just hard for me to kind of take notes. But one thing that did stand out with Joel and Vernisha when they were talking about the territorial thing was, I believe that you have to, in some form, you have to kind of like put your stamp on people. Like
that's how they get sent home.
Right. It sounds bad, but I do feel like you have to say, okay, well, I like this person and I like this person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to understand that they're also dating other people, you know, and everything like that. But still, you have to.
That's how you get the person in the end, because you can't act disinterested in everybody because they talking to somebody else.
Right.
And then all of a sudden at the end, oh my God, we were made for each other. No, this is dumb.
Right. Like, it's stupid. Like, nah, work on it throughout the whole process. Understand that you're going through a process and everything like that. But I still feel like Joel and Vernisha needs to, like, I think they like, I like them together. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like you take those, like they was considering that to be a red flag because of basically Joel said at the end, it's kind of like she'll be too clingy. But I was like, it's not that you're too clingy, but that's your person.
I'm clinging to my spouse.
Right. Or just the person that you're in a relationship with, you're gonna be with that person.
We don't have to be Velcro, but like it needs to be understood that this is my person and don't try them because you trying me.
Right, exactly.
Try Jesus, not me.
Because I throw hands. Shout out to
Toby. So as Tommy mentioned, they were going back and forth between Joel's date and Chris's date. Chris just had Amber there, as to be expected, because you know,
of course,
he's a one-woman man. So he had two of his friends, who I only caught the guy's name, which was Gavin, and they were asking Amber, has she told her friends and family about Chris? And she was like, no. And I'm like, it's not over.
I'm like, they wasn't together.
What are we
like? Why would she? Like, she probably mentioned, like, hey, I'm on this TV show,
right?
But she didn't mention that this is who she was dating, because it's like, it's nothing set in stone.
Well, I'm also sure that there's some type of disclosure that they have to sign, and you can't be like, I'm talking to Chris, who was on last season. Yeah, no, you can't do that. That was a dumb question.
Yeah, I didn't feel like they understood what, because of that question, I didn't feel like they understood the process. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because asking her, have you told your family about him? Mm-hmm. And then, you know, you're still in the middle of a competition. Yeah, he's your number one, but you still have all these other men that you're...
And he could get sent home at any time.
Right. He's not safe because he's still playing the one-woman man.
But it's not even about that with her. Like, she's trying to make sure that she, too, is safe. So, yeah. I mean, it's just... We got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah.
Than if I told my friends about you. But at the ending of it, his friend Gavin told her that he thought that they were a perfect match. And I mean, okay.
Yeah.
As far as the contestants on this show, Sure.
I was gonna say, I think they're good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying anything negative about them, but it's just like, I can't use the word perfect match because I don't know Chris. I don't know Amber. But as far as the contestants that are on this actual show, y'all fit together.
Right. They're a better match than other people.
Makes complete sense. You got anything else for the two of them?
No, that's it.
All right, next up, we had Jason and two of his friends meet up with both Liz and Kyra. Tommy got pissed off because there was two girls at this meeting.
I just feel like that's working backwards, man. It's already hard juggling one. Now you put two potentials in the same room that, and they're mature, so it worked.
But it's a TV show too, so you're not gonna go in there acting a fool,
right? No, but it's just it puts more strain on your friends because now they're trying not to play favorites, but they're gonna naturally people tend to lean one way or the other.
I mean, but I don't think that I've ever had friends date someone and been like, oh yeah, girl, both of them would be great for you. It's usually I gravitate towards one person.
Right. Usually that's what happens.
We just don't ever meet the two people in a setting like this.
Exactly. That's the thing. And it's like, for that to happen, I get, it's a TV show, but for that to happen, it's kind of hard to make to have a fair opinion about somebody when it's a shared opinion, because they could simply ask one question to Liz where they didn't, or they may have, how old are you? And then ask Kyra, how old are you? And then start talking to Kyra about things that's happening now, because they're all closer to the same
to Kyra's age,
rather than with Liz being 4 years older than Jason and don't have that age gap. There is it doesn't mean much, but it means something. It
doesn't mean anything in adulthood,
right?
But to be fair, Liz does want to have kids, so it means something.
Yeah.
But they asked Liz and Kyra the same question about a relationship and what they view it as, and they both basically said the same thing, that Kyra says she wants a man to lead. Liz says she wants a man to lead spiritually. And I was just like, all right, that's the same answer, guys. You just threw in the word spiritual.
Right.
When Liz left first, and then the friends got to talk to Kyra a little bit more. And then when Kyra left, Jason just essentially sat down with the two of them and asked them questions. And they said that they seemed to like Kyra more because Kyra was more down to earth. Kyra ended up becoming the MVP of this episode.
Man, did she?
But everybody seemed to be team Kyra as far as Jason's friends were concerned. And honestly and truly, when we first sat down and watched the mix and mingle, I thought that Kyra was going to be like Joy.
Yeah.
Where everybody was going to be trying to vie for her attention.
But for me, she's not how Joy was. Like Joy, to me, in the last season, Joy was the glue kinda for everybody, because she had her thing with Jay, and everybody knew it, but nobody else really, except Edwin. But I don't even think Edwin had a real shot.
No. I'm not saying that anybody had a shot with Kyra, but you know how there's one girl that everybody like drools over in a situation? Yeah. I assumed that it would be Kyra. And a lot of it was the way that they portrayed her with the camera angles, and like they always got her standing off to herself and like got the full body shots of her. So it made it seem like they were featuring her more.
Yeah.
So they made, for me, it felt like there was a reason that they were doing that in that first episode.
Nah, I see what you're saying.
Which, turns out that's what happened apparently. So then we see AJ and Kyra go on a volleyball date with his friends, and Kyra did ask his friends. I'm not sure what they asked her because it didn't really matter. Kyra asked his friends, did they think that he was okay with settling down? Like if he was ready to be in a monogamous relationship. And like friends always do, they lie and say it. Yeah.
You think they lied?
I think they lied.
Oh, I forgot. Like everybody was on AJ. Like AJ is not ready, man. It's hard, man. It's hard to say, but I think he likes Kyra.
Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that he's doing the right things by her.
Like, what is he actually doing wrong?
It's
I guess
something
that's what
about
I'm not
his
seeing.
Energy. I hate to be that person that uses the word
like you
energy.
can't use that.
But it's just like, I don't know. It just feels like he's not trying. Like he's just like, I'm AJ. You should want to be with me. He's chrysanthemum in male form.
I don't get that. I feel like he's trying. Like, what is he? In the comments, let us know what AJ is not doing, because I don't get it. I feel like he's doing what they're asking him to do. Mm-hmm. Like, as far as I'm gonna go on a date, not like asking questions, having a conversation. Because Chrysanthemum is not having a conversation with Ron about anything,
or anybody else.
Except am I your number one? You know, look at me, look at me, look at me. It's all about me.
All their conversations seem to be through text that she's not having with anybody else.
Yeah,
but we haven't gotten to them yet. I think they're next.
I digress to say that.
So you think AJ is genuine stand-up guy and he is here?
I mean, like everybody has their faults. I have my faults, but it's like I think that he's mentally in a space where he wants to, you know, see where a relationship can go, and I think his pursuit of Kyra is it. Like he's not. I don't feel like he's genuinely pursuing other girls. I feel like that, but I feel like Kyra is one that he's genuinely, from what we see, you know, on TV, I feel like Kyra is genuinely one girl that he's pursuing.
It's the energy that I just can't get down with. and maybe you have to be a woman to feel it. Maybe. Because I think that a lot of women have been approached with guys that are AJ-esque. Yeah. And it didn't work out because they were AJ-esque.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I'm sure in a past life you were like AJ.
No, I wasn't. I was very open. Like I was very sure of what I wanted, and you know, if I could get it, and if I couldn't,
you was gonna try anyways.
I wasn't a person that, because I'm not good at lying. One,
oh, you're not.
I'm terrible, and two, it's like, well, let's cut to the chase.
Okay. Anywho,
like with you, it was different because
don't be trying to make me different.
No, I'm saying it was different because the only thing I wanted to do was have somebody to hang out with.
Oh, okay.
And we've been hanging ever since. You've been smiling ever since.
I'm gonna get my lily smile.
Go ahead,
Anywho, next up, Ron takes Alexis and Chrysanthemum to a lounge with his friend. I used lounge in quotation marks. I was like, this was probably on a Tuesday at noon, and they just cut the lights down and made them flash.
It was probably at the Gentleman's Lounge.
Give them a couple of cocktails and was like, look like y'all having fun, because there was no music in the background of any of these mics.
Some lemon pepper wings and a few drinks.
Does Houston eat lemon pepper wings like that?
I don't know. I've never been to Houston.
I have. I think my senior trip was there.
Wouldn't mind going.
Or was it Dallas?
Anyway, Ron, Chrysanthemum, and Alexis.
So Alexis started out complaining about what Chrysanthemum had on. You going to meet his friends and you got holes all down your side? It's like, that is not what Alexis the Fly Jones would be wearing on a date to meet somebody friends.
Not the Fly Jones.
Because Alexis wore her outfits be doing it. So Chrysanthemum, let me start back. Ron's friends were asking Chrysanthemum a lot of questions, and she did not want to answer them. She said she does not like to feel like she's being interviewed. I was like, girl, you don't like anything, do you?
No, I don't like to feel interviewed. I don't like relationships. I don't know why I'm on this show. I don't like it.
I just thought I was going to come on here and people was going to start inviting me to parties, and, you know, it was going to be lit.
Yeah.
Alexis stuck around. I said Alexis won this hands down because Chrysanthemum left first, and Alexis got to spend a little bit more time talking to his friends. And essentially, when Alexis left, the friends were like, "Hey, if you trying to build a future, Alexis is your girl. If you trying to turn up, Chrysanthemum is your girl. Choose wisely.
Right.
You need to know what you're looking for and what is the next stage of your life. And from there, you can make a better, more informed decision."
I feel like Chrysanthemum left rudely. Because the guy was like, I don't know if he was trying to give her a hug when she left or like shake her hand, but he stood up and she was like, "Excuse me," and "good day" or something she said. I was like, that's kind of rude. Like,
well, she's been giving very rude vibes. I think that she should have went home before Stacey should have went home.
I was surprised, but I understood why. Because one of them had to go and nobody really was feeling Stacey. And Ron was like,
We took a vote. Somebody had to go.
Yeah.
Stacey got kicked off the island first. Chris wasn't too far behind though.
No, because it was her attitude.
I got nothing else for them.
Nope.
Are you done?
Yeah,
okay.
I'm done.
So next we see David, and he introduced Liz to his friends Micah and Brittany. During that date, they did do a diary cam or confessional with David, and he did let us know that Liz called him the night of her date with Jason.
Yeah.
And let her know that she's sorry for kissing Jason. And I was like, that was one of those things that burned me up. Because Liz can call and confess her quote unquote sins to David and, say, "You're still my number one." And David can get upset because she kissed Jason, but Vernisha can't get upset because Joelle kissed Amber. Ain't that the same thing?
It's the same thing, but different people.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But it's like, it's frowned upon when it's Vernisha, but not when it's David. Although I'm frowning upon it with David too, but totally isolated reasons.
He got mad because of it?
He didn't get mad about it, but he said he saw her differently because of it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Maybe I heard that, but that's what I saw.
I don't know, man. Like, I didn't hear it, but I'm not saying that you didn't hear it. But I just like this whole episode when it came down to Liz confused me. Like, I was completely like the date with David. You thought that, Liz was his top runner, the person that he's, after and everything. But then, I don't know if you want to talk about it now or.
No, go ahead.
Like Liz at the Gentleman's Lounge when they at the end, Liz was at the bottom as well because David basically was like.
David fed her to the wolves.
Yeah. That's the way I felt. I was like, David, you didn't stand up for her? Like, hey.
And then said, "I felt bad." Did you?
Right. Like, dude, you should. Like, Stacey said she felt like she's been cheated. Mm-hmm. I can't say that she wasn't or was because she felt like she's been cheated because of things outside of the camera. I feel like Liz was cheated today because of what we saw on camera. Like David out of the blue and was like, "Nah."
I get why. And I'm not going to say, because I don't think Jason said that Liz was in his bottom.
Yeah, I get why.
He was just like, Kyra rose to the top because of what my friend said. He's like, I'm not saying that, like my friend said Liz was stiff, and I'm not saying that she is or isn't. I'm just saying I got better vibes from Kyra. Mm-hmm. I can respect that. But David was just like, nah.
Yeah, I couldn't figure. He was at the date with her. He was like, "I'm indecisive." I couldn't figure out what is it that you're indecisive about.
I don't know who else trying to be.
Yeah, like nobody, like David is there because of Liz.
Mm-hmm. I need to see if they got any extra footage on YouTube page and see what's going on. If it was some extra dates we not familiar with,
it had to be.
So, I didn't write anything else about that date with Liz and David and Co.
Yeah.
Next up, we saw Jason take Kyra to an art gallery. They had champagne. He gave her roses. They kissed twice. Once.
I only seen once.
I think it was twice. And they seem to be having like good conversation, though we didn't see the conversation. Right. But like, it seems like the way that they're talking to each other, that they're comfortable around each other. They've gotten to know each other a little bit better, and that, you know, they could attempt to be together, which I think was one of the questions that she asked him at the end. Yeah. I know he did say, I like you a lot, like a whole lot. And if I had to go between Liz and Kyra for Jason, it would be Kyra.
Yeah.
Hoping that, you know, he can lead her the way that she feels like she needs to be led. But we shall see. So next up after that, we back to the gentleman's lounge. Joel's friend said they were cautious of Vernisha. Jason got teary-eyed about his friend saying nice things about him. I was like, that's me.
I was like, man, I was like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear that about yourself a lot. Mm-hmm. And when you do hear it, it's like, that's what you think of me? Oh, yeah, right. Exactly. It's just like that, man. I feel like it's okay for a man to cry.
Oh, no, I'm not saying anything negative about him crying.
And stuff like that. It's just funny because like somebody was like, go ahead, brother. It's all right, brother.
Like it just came out of nowhere. He was like, see, them say things about me.
Yeah.
And where I come from.
They was like, go ahead, brother. It's okay. Take your time.
Who was it?
I don't know.
It's probably Joel.
I was just about to say, it's probably Joel. I
don't know. Jason said that his friend said Liz was stiff. Ron mentioned that his friend said, you know, if you're trying to have a Michelle Obama type and build things, Alexis is your girl. Chrysanthemum ain't. And that's pretty much all they said about their friend dates, which did Chris say anything about his date with Amber? They probably edited it out.
Yeah,
because it was just her.
Yeah. Uncle, look, I'm gonna say Uncle Tommy, nephew Tommy,
because you're nephew Tommy.
Nephew Tommy, he was like, asked them if they had to pick today, who would they pick? And I'm just gonna start off with Joel. Mm-hmm. He picked Kyra, and I didn't see that coming, and everybody didn't see that coming.
Nephew Tommy was like, who?
Like he hadn't mentioned Kyra at all. And you know, in the confessional thing, he was more so like, yeah, Kyra was just I needed a name off the top. We had a good conversation, so I'll take good conversation over whatever. Like I guess him and Vernisha, the night that after she went on a date with his friends, they had a disagreement or something about something.
Right.
And instead of just kind of working through it, he just was like, I would pick Kyra. And so that Kyra was the MVP at the Gentleman's Lounge.
Yeah, so Jason said Kyra, Joel said Kyra, David said Kyra. Jason was like, what? Me and Kyra kissing?
Right. Like, where did all this come from?
And I'm like...
AJ said Kyra too.
Yeah. Okay, so AJ, fully get. Yeah. Jason, fully get. David, Kyra ain't finna talk to David.
Where did they come from?
Joel might be able to woo her a little bit.
But not much, though.
But I'm just saying, he would be more in there than David would.
Oh, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it might be a wooing going on, but that would be pretty much it.
I said, what type of juju did Kyra put on these guys?
And then Ron said Alexis. So the only person that I don't think I heard their answer was Chris, which I'm gathering is Amber.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like no Liz, no Vernisha. Who else?
Chrysanthemum.
Oh, we knew Chrysanthemum wasn't anybody. So who was that? Liz, Vernisha, Amber, Alexis, Chrysanthemum. There were 6 though.
Was it?
Supposedly.
Nah. That's all the girls. Kyra,
that's my 6.
Oh, okay.
So out of all of those ladies, Liz's name didn't come up. Chrysanthemum's name didn't come up. That's essentially how they ended up in the bottom two.
Yeah.
So Chrysanthemum was in the bottom for everyone except for Ron. Ron was like, she don't text y'all back. She texts me back.
Yeah.
And I was like, does she? Or are you out busy doing your own thing that by the time she responds,
yeah, she probably does respond to him because that's the only one she's shown interest in.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody else she's even shown like a little interest in.
And I would think that granted, we don't know a lot about Chrysanthemum, but I would think that Chrysanthemum would be going for a more outspoken type, like a Joel type, more so than a Ron type.
Yeah.
I knew that nothing was going to go anywhere with KG, and we knew David wasn't going nowhere.
Nah. I don't think David is safe on the show.
He gave up his safety net.
Yeah, he did, man. I was like, what?
So at the ending, we got to see Chrysanthemum and Liz were at the ending. Liz met up with Ron. Chrysanthemum met up with Chris. Chrysanthemum walked in there on ready.
Yep.
With her attitude. And she was just like, oops. It didn't work out. Like, I think that she was checked out of it anyway. She was kind of like, this is taking too much and I don't really like any of these guys anyways, which I get. Like, it's okay to just bow out, but at least she wasn't Naya about it.
Yeah, that was the good thing. I was hoping I was like, please don't let her be like Naya.
It would have made for good TV, but yeah, I'm happy that she didn't have that attitude.
Yeah, I'm glad she gave him a hug and was like, all right, I'm out.
And then Liz met with Ron. She said she knew something was up because her and Ron have not connected at all. And Ron basically seemed super nervous to tell her that she was safe.
Yeah, and the thing about it is like, what else can Liz do to make her win this be in the top 3, basically? You know what I'm saying? Because at this point, it's 5 girls left. 2 girls are going home. What can she do to not be a part of that 2 girls? Because I feel like at this point, it's like people have made their choices.
Liz is going home next. It's probably going to be Liz and Vernisha
that go home.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Alexis,
Amber,
and Kyra.
And the only reason I say that Vernisha's gonna go home is because I can't see Vernisha meshing with any of the guys that are left if Joel is kicking her to the curb.
Yeah. And Joel will go home then.
Probably.
Yeah. Joel David's gonna be the next dude to go home for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Especially based off the preview.
I need to sit down and try to make me a bracket.
Yeah. Bracketology of Ready to Love. That's funny.
I mean, just try to figure out who's staying, who's safe, who's going. Because at this point, I don't think that anybody is safe.
Yeah. Only person I think is safe and padded is Kyra.
Mm-hmm.
I at this point, I'm like, Kyra is going to...
Kyra stays to the end, which I didn't know, but I watched Rashid and Simone's reviews of Ready to Love, and apparently Simone and Kyra are friends.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, and I don't know if Simone is throwing salt on Jason, but she was just like, is he still a teacher? And everybody, like, well, Rashid was like, and other people in the comments as well were like, why wouldn't Jason still be a teacher? She's like, it take a lot of time to film this show. I'm like, it's different for them being at home than it is for y'all being on a resort. Right. Like, they're 2 different. The setup is different because y'all had to get pulled away from everything, whereas they still can get up and go to work every day because they're meeting in the evenings for dates. Like, they still got jobs.
Right, exactly.
Not to say that y'all didn't have jobs, but Houston was shut down. Yeah. It is not shut down anymore.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it for this episode of Ready to Love. So your next week prediction is David's going home?
David is going home next week.
Who's your next lady that's going home?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't have a next lady.
It's gonna be Liz or Venetia.
Yeah. I hate to say that, but I think so.
You hate to say who?
Liz or Venetia.
You like both of them? You wanted them both to stay?
I definitely like both of them, and I feel like they were, they are good, you know, and not to take away from any of the other girls.
No. I'm not. You know? I'm not taking them and pitting them against each other by any means. Yeah. Just looking at what the guys are saying.
Yeah, like I especially Liz, like that for somebody to be fed something different and then all of a sudden it's a change. I don't think that's right at all. Like the change is based off of something that she, like, knowing that she was going to do. Like, I'm assuming that he's indecisive because she went out on a date with Jason, enjoyed it, gave him a kiss, and she called him and told him. And
Jason was just like, I'm happy I didn't have to say it.
Right. So, I don't know, man. I just hate it for Liz. But, yeah, if anybody, it'd be Liz or Venetia to go home as a girl. But hate to say that.
Well, anything else?
No, that's all I got.
All right. Please comment down below what you guys thought about Chrysanthemum going home. I know we probably all got the same consensus. Also, let us know which guy do you think is going to go home next week. I am going to try to remember when this video goes live to put in the description box who the remaining people are and who I think the couples are. I guess we can do a collaborative effort on this, or we can have your list versus my list.
Yeah. And the question about AJ, what he did wrong.
Oh yeah. Tell us what y'all think AJ did wrong. Obviously, like, I know Elle and Disco Sprinkles had a lot to say. So if anybody else has anything to say, like, comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about AJ, like totality, not just
really, what is it that he's not doing that I'm missing because I'm missing something?
He just got F-boy energy. You probably got a lot of friends that got F-boy energy.
Probably, but I don't know. I'm missing it. So
I only hang out with your married friends, so there's that.
There's that.
And Lance.
And Lance. Shout out to Lance.
All right. Well, if there is nothing else, please subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell, and share this
Hit
video.
The like button.
Oh, yeah.
Give it the thumbs up.
Up, never down. And that's it. Bye, y'all.
Peace.